vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karmalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Vishayatitam Tasmai Sarva Vide Namaha. Ahameva sadatmajnah Shunyastvanye yathambaram Ityevam satyasandatvat Asadhatana badhyate Kurvanaste nyathaivatah Vidur Brahma Parham Hiye Swaragyo Nanyadruk Swastha Tasya Deva Asanvashe. Iti evam Satya Sandhatvat. Only Satya Sandha, one who has abhisandhi, a constant awareness of Satya, the true nature of oneself, which also happens to be the true nature of everything. What is there is only Satyam. So, Satya, abhisandhi, awareness, contemplation or constant awareness of oneself is the constant awareness of the truth of everything. Sadatmajnah, I am Sadatma, I am Sat, Jagat Karanam, which is Atma, the true nature of myself, which is Jnana, consciousness. Yatha ambaram tatha anyai shunyah. This ambaram, the space, is one non-dual, does not admit of any duality. So also I am one non-dual, do not admit of duality or anything other than myself. But other than Atma, we call it Vacharambhanam Mithya, but in reality it just appears, not there at all. In Atma, the Dvaita, the other, has no existence at all. Ityevam Satya Sandhatvat. Thus, constantly Satya Sandhatvam is there, a constant awareness, a train of thought of Satya is there. Asadhata. This presupposes, the awareness of Satya presupposes the discarding of Asatya. Because Satya is by negating the Asatya, by recognizing, of course, the Shunyatvam of Asatya, the non-existence of Asatya and Satyam. So with that there is awareness of Satyam because the Satya is not there at all. Then na baddhate. If Satya could stand apart from Satyam, you needed a special effort, only focus on Satyam to exclude Asatyam. Then when you don't have that awareness, and again Asatya can take over you. But there is no such thing as Satya at all. So, Shunya Anyayi Shunya. I'm devoid of anything else, devoid of the other, devoid of Asatya. All I am, all there is Satyam. Atma Vedam Sarvam, Satyam Vedam Sarvam. Idam Sarvam Satyam, Aham Satya. Therefore, there is no occasion of bondage. All the occasion or possibility of bondage are eliminated because bondage was nothing but the product of the mind's imagination, projection, where what is called Satya was projected to be true. When that is not there, now there is no occasion of bondage. ये ब्रह्म अतः अन्यम विदु. Unfortunately, those who know Brahman as other than this, ukta vaiparityena anatmabhutaya vidu. On the other hand, those who know Brahman as other than oneself, upasakas for example, by knowing what is meant is believing. Believing that or concluding that Brahman is different from me, Ishvara is different from me, the Devata is different from me. Said that Anyaraja, so Anyarajanaste kshayalokaha bhavanti. There is one Swaraj who is one's own Raja, who is sovereign, who is one's own master. That is the real freedom. And that freedom is characterized by our knowledge, by knowing what is, that's all. That freedom or moksha is not happening of something. Something was not there and something happened, therefore you are free. No, it is a recognition of what truly I am. That Brahman or Ishvara that I thought to be different from myself, the I is all inclusive. I, the dimension of I is all inclusive, nothing is excluded. Therefore I am the only one, therefore I am Swaraj, I am the sovereign. The moment you see something other than yourself, once Bheda Drushti is there, then you get controlled. The Bheda Drushti will create a sense of separation, isolation, limitedness, and therefore a need. When limitedness is there, a need arises, and then one is controlled by the one who fulfills that need, supposedly. Swarajyo ananyadvik swastaha, abiding in oneself. Ananyadvik, one who does not see anything other than the self. Swaraj is called the sovereign. How a sovereign will feel freedom because he is not controlled by anybody. That sovereign is just an example. Even a sovereign also is not sovereign in totality because he is still controlled by his ragadvesha, desires, etc. No worldly accomplishment can make you totally free from need. Well, that is the nature of need, that when it is satisfied creates another need. Although the example of a king is given as one who doesn't need any because he gets everything that he wants. But that is as far as the worldly possessions are concerned. Worldly possessions are not the only thing that one wants. When you have them, then there are other desires. You want to be Gandharva, you want to be, Yaksha, something else. Because you see them and you feel, oh, you don't have what they have. So a Swarat is an example. But here is Swarat, Swastaha Swarat, one abiding in oneself. Self-shining, illumining everything. Tasya deva asanvashe. Because his eye of the self includes everything, includes Brahman, includes all the devatas. So figuratively said that all the devatas are now under his rule. Not that he rules, but he's called sovereign. He's called Swarat, sovereign, who rules everything, including the devatas. Figuratively said, this is a way of describing freedom. That even a person who may be free in a worldly sense may also feel controlled by forces beyond his control. There are always forces beyond one's control. And one may feel controlled by them, or even natural forces also, divine forces also. Everything is under his control because he is the self of all. Continuing with verse 76. Yasmad yasoktatva jnanadeva kritakrityata. Yasmad yathokta atmajnanadeva kritakrityata. Kritakrityata, a total sense of fulfillment in one's life. Yathokta atmajnanadeva. Having kritakritya, being fulfilled, kritam krityam yena sa kritakritya. One who has done everything that needs to be done, who has achieved everything that could be achieved, could be known, could be reached. And thus the fulfillment of all the desires. So shnute sarvan kaman saha. Brahmana vipaschita iti. As Brahman, as vipaschit, as consciousness, as omniscient, his all desires are simultaneously satisfied. Meaning that he discovers himself as Brahman, the limitless Ananda. So knowing oneself brings kritakrityata. Jnanadeva kritakrityata. When can knowing become fulfillment? Because the self that you know is all inclusive. Everything is done there, everything is achieved, everything in the life that one is seeking is all accomplished. Tasmad mokshabhi tadartham yatnavadbhi bhavitavyamiti. Yatnavad bhavitavyam. Therefore, this being the case, since the knowledge of self brings kritakrityata, brings a total sense of fulfillment in life, recognition of accomplishing what it is that one always wanted, discovering a freedom from all wants or needs. So that is one way of describing moksha, freedom from all the needs. So since this is what one wants and this is what one discovers by the knowledge of one's own self, and therefore knowledge of everything, jnah, sadatmajnah, tasmat mukshubhi, therefore yatnavat bhavitavyam. So therefore, that mumukshus must strive to gain that self-knowledge and do whatever is required for attaining that knowledge. Iti. So the benefit of moksha is described, and therefore now the teacher can say, hey, this is what you should do. That this is what you must strive for. Yatnavat bhavitavyam. You must strive for this. Strive. Iti tan shikshayan. So, shishyan shikshayan. The Guru is giving shiksha or instruction, insight to the shishyas. Hitva iti. Hitva jatyadi sambandhan. Vachonya sahakarmabhi. Omityevam swamatmanam. Sarvam shuddham prapadyatha. Hitva jatyadi sambandhan. Jati adi sambandhan hitva. Give all the sambandha, relation or association with jati. That I am a Brahmana, Kshatriya, a man, woman, or any other thing that qualifies you for action. Moment. Anything that gives you a sense of identity. So, identity, Brahmanoham, I am a Brahmana, I am a Grihastha, I am so and so, is an identity. That identity was imparted to this person to make him a responsible person. Living a life of responsibility now makes him mature enough that now he doesn't need to be responsible. He has become responsible by nature. Thus, when you find that you are responsible by nature, you already abide in doing what is right to do, then you become free from the need to do. So now therefore you can give up everything that is required for performing action, performing your duties. Jatyadi sambandhan hitva. Meaning for this yatna, you have to give up other yatna. Retain identity and therefore being aware of a duty that I have to do this will divert your effort in that direction. Your awareness about yourself creates a sense of responsibility and therefore it will demand an effort. So give up that identity. Coming from jati, kriya, guna, sambandha, whatever identity, give it up because that it is not to be retained now. So far that identity was retained to perform the duty to gain a state where now this knowledge has become all important. That has been accomplished. So give all karma and all the means of karma. Anyaha vacha karma vihis anyaha vacha hitva. Along with karma now, give all other talk. So karma vihi anyaha vacha hitva. Vacha is all talk about anatma. Along with karma, also give all your preoccupation with non-self. That is, now your mind is totally free. It was occupied with the idea of the duty, occupied by the idea that I must study this, I must study that, I must discuss this, I must know this, etc. So therefore the Shastra Vasana also is given up. All Kartavya also is given up. Then now the mind enjoys a real leisure. Now, Omitevam Swatmanam Sarvam Shuddham Prapadyasa means surrender to Swam Atmanam Prapadyasa. You now surrender to, meaning contemplate upon, be devoted to, be committed to. Devotion is nothing of the but nature of knowledge. And knowledge requires contemplation. So may you now devote yourself to the contemplation of the self. Swam Atmanam Sarvam Shuddham. Once Atma, which is Sarva, which is all, Shuddha, ever pure, how do you take refuge into this Atma? How do you that means meditate upon the Atma. Om. So Om is provided as a means of meditation upon self. This statement from the Mundaka Upanishad. Jasmin Dhyauhu Prithvi Chantariksham Otam Manasah Pranaisya Sarvaihi Tamevaikam Janathatmatmanam Anya Vacho Vimunchasa Amrutasaisha Setu iti. Yasmin Otam, that in which everything is woven. So that which is like a thread in which the whole universe is woven. Who is the material cause of the universe? Who is the very truth of the universe? Just as the thread is the cause of the cloth or fabric. Devhu, Prithvi, Antariksham. Devhu, the other world, the Swarga. Prithvi, this world. Antariksham, intermediate world. The Bhuvaha, Bhuhu, Swaha, Bhuvaha, Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha. It's the entire universe. Manaha saha, so Pranaisya Sarvaihi saha. And Mana, along with the mind, along with Prana, the whole universe is woven, superimposed upon which, of which is Adhishthanam, informing the whole universe, pervading the whole universe. As the very self of the Atma, as the material cause, as the one and non-dual. Then when you think of the material cause, the effect nowhere remains, and therefore they resolve everything into the self which is now Om. Tameva ekam atmanam janatha. Recognizing that this pranahi, all of the antariksham, prithvi, all of this is nothing but Om, nothing but Atma, which is Om. Then may you constantly seek to know that as your own self. Anya vacha vimunchasa. Give all your vacha, all activities, all talks, everything give up. Amrutatseva esha setuhu. This is a setu. It's a causeway for immortality. This meditation upon Om, the Atma is Om, is a setu, is a causeway of walking or crossing the ocean of samsara to the other, which is immortality. So what the Upanishad says here is Anya vacho vimunchasa. Give all the talk. I mean, give all the karma, all occupation, all preoccupation, give up. Recognizing the futility or recognizing that there is no need for you now. The time when you needed them, you no more need them now. Esha amrutasya setuhu. This alone is a setu, the causeway leading to immortality and nothing else. Umityevam dhyayatha atmanam. So again, same thing. Next mantra there. We meditate on Atma as Om. It's a Vakyadvaramatra Udaharanam. These two passages from Mundaka Upanishad become the illustration here, or the basis of this particular verse. hitva jatyadi sambandhan. Anya vacho vimunchata. Anyaha vacha anatvisha pravritti paraha. Any talk or thought which engages you in activity, give that up. So any deliberation upon anatma will create in you a sense of duty, a sense of doing something. So give up all that. Anatma vishaha vachaha pravritti paraha vimunchatha. O disciples, may we give up those things. Pravritti paraha, which are devoted to pravritti, which involve activity, meaning the interaction with anatma. Give that up. Sarvam suddham prapatyatha, sarvam sarvadharabhutam, suddham viviktam, nirvishesham. Atma, Brahman, which is sarvam meaning what? Sarva adharabhutam, which is the refuge or the focus or the center, locus of all the beings. Shuddham viviktam nirvishesham. Nirvishesha alone can be the Atma of the all Visheshas. So that which is all inclusive, with devoid of any attribute which is you, may you meditate upon yourself with the help of Om. Upon Om, may you superimpose this idea. And ultimately Om also will dissolve into only Atma. Tameva pratipattavyam atmanam shrutyantarena vishinasti. Pratipattavyam sharanyam atmanam, that Atma which Lever says there, may you take refuge into that Atma, surrender to that Atma. Shrutyantarena, what's the nature of that Atma? Shrutyantarena vishinasti, that Atma is further described with the help of the other statement of Shruti. Setumiti. Setum sarvavyavasthana ahoratradivarjitam tiryagutmamatas sarvam sakrujyotirnamayam. Setum sarvavyavasthanam. Sarvavyavasthanam setu. What is sarvavyavastha? It says varnashramadi maryadanam. The vyavastha. The functioning in the life requires vyavastha. Requires an order. For the society also to function smoothly or harmoniously, an order is required. A clarity is required as to who is one is, what is it that one has to do. So this varnashrama vyavastha enables one to determine what is it that my participation is. What is that I have to do so that I do what is required to be done, and I do not go out of my boundary to encroach upon something else. That is, everybody stays within their boundaries, then only an order can be maintained. These boundaries are created. Varnashrama is creating boundaries. So varnashrama is maryadanam setum vidharakam. Here Brahman is described as Setu. Setu is Vidharakam. Setu can be called causeway, but here Setu is that holds things in our place. If water is flowing, then you create a dam. Dharakam, that is what upholds the water and maintains the levels of water. Otherwise, water will seek the same level. But here a dam maintains different levels of water. Dharakam. Therefore, it controls that water, sustains the water, holds the water in its place. Then there is vyavastha, that this water is used for one purpose, that water has a different purpose. Similarly, in society also, everything has its own purpose. But the tendency of water is to flow. So something has to arrest that tendency. Keep the water in its limit. Water would not want to remain in a limit, but water is kept in the limit. So human mind may not want to remain in a limit. Has to be kept in a limit. Not only human mind, the whole universe also. Human being is just one, resident of this universe, one occupant. The whole universe also is functioning smoothly, but this vyavastha is mainly required for human beings. Other people are programmed to function in an orderly manner. For human being, some external rule is required. Then only he will behave properly, within boundaries. So that is Brahman, that is Ishvara. So Ishvara is the one who is the Vidharaka, who upholds the vyavastha, the order in the universe. So we find an order in the universe. And all the various natural forces also functioning in an orderly manner. That shows that there is a niyanta, the one that controls the things. Setum sarvavasthanam ahoratradivarjitam. That setu is such that ahoratradivarjitam, ahoratra, day and night, meaning the time devoid of the idea of day and night, devoid of idea of time, devoid of idea of change, meaning that day and night, all of these, they resolve. When reaching that, the day and night, no more retain that sense of time. There is no time. Where? That which is devoid of the idea of time, which transcends the time. Tiryak, urdham, adaha, sarvam, which also transcends the idea of space. So tiryak, horizontal, urdham, vertical, adaha, down, so going down, up, on the sideways. So one that is devoid of these notions of up and down and sideways, meaning notion of space. So one that it transcends the notion of time and space, but maintains the order of time and space. All order is maintained in the realm of time and space, understand? The one that maintains that order transcends the time and space. Sakrit Jyoti Anamayam. Sakrit Jyoti, shining once means ever shining. Anamayam, Anamayam means disease, free from all disease, free from all unhappiness or sadness. So that is the Pratipattavyam Atmanam. This is Atma. So, Sarvam Shuddham Prapadyasa. O disciples, may you take refuge into this Atma. So Atmanam Sarvam Shuddham Prapadyasa. Further, what's the nature of the Atma? Sarvavasthanam Setum Atmanam Ahoratradi Varjitam Atmanam Tir Urdam Adha Sarvam Atmanam Sakrit Jyotiratmanam Anamayam Atmanam Prapadyasa. So Tikakara says how all this passage comes from this mantra, passage from the Upanishad. Athaya Atma Sasetuhu Vidrutihi Yesham Lokanam Asambhedaya. So Chandogya also says that, Bhudaranyaka also says that. esha setu vidarana esham lokanam asambhedaya. Bhudaranyaka also says. Here, athayatma sasetu vidhrutihi. Vidhrutihi means dharanam, sarva vyavasthanam, one that upholds all the vyavastha. Vidhrutihi. Vidharanam, as they call it vidharana, vidhrutihi. So that which sustains everything, upholds everything. Esham lokana asambhedaya. So there is asambheda. There is no bheda. That these lokas are not independent. That Prithvi loka has also its Maryada, Antariksha, Swarga, and all the loka also include all human beings and all living beings. Asambhedaya. That it is devoid of all sambheda, all the split, all the conflict. There is no conflict, no split between all these, because that means there is all, nothing but harmony among all of them. Each one is different from the other, and still that sambheda, the division is not there, the duality is not there, there is harmony. Netam setum ahoratre tarataha. Ahoratre etam setum na tarataha. The day and night cannot cross, cannot reach this setu, which is Brahman. Sakar vivaso vivato eva esha brahmaloka. Another passage. Next passage. Esha brahmaloka. Brahmayava loka brahmaloka. This loka of the nature of Brahman is Sakru Vibhata. It is ever shining, self shining. Tijak Urdhvam Adha Sarvam. For that other passage could have been, also quoted. Atma Purastad, Atma Paschad, Atma Adhastad, Atma Uparistad, etc., etc. The self which is in all directions. Punakim Lakshanam Atmanam Prapadyate. Again, what's the nature of the Atma which the mumukshus take refuge into, resort to? I mean, they are totally devoted to that Atma. In this sense, knowing the Atma. Devotion means a total commitment. So, total commitment, knowledge of the Atma, and the total commitment requires giving all the commitments. Anya vacho vimunchasa. You have all other commitments and totally be devoted to the self. Here quotation from the Kathopanishad, where Nachiketa asks of Yamaraja. So Nachiketa at first asks a question. Yeyam prete vichikitsa manushya. He should ask about the Atma. Whether Atma is mortal, immortal, this body, sanghata, beyond the sanghata. Then he clarified the question. So the discussion, is he asking a different question? Because his mandate is over, he was given the freedom to ask 3 questions. So this is third question, he said, Varaheta stutiyaha. Then he takes the liberty to ask this question easily. Now he has seen Yamaraja is very favored of asking a 4th one. He says, no. Just clarifying the earlier question. So here it is Nirvishesha Brahma is asking for. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. So that which is dharmat, adharmat, anyatra, other than dharma and adharma. Anyatra smat, kruta krutata, karya karanat, different from the cause and effect. Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha, different from the past, present and future. So that transcends the time, transcends the idea of cause and effect, transcends the idea of dharma, dharma. The transcendental nirvishesha, all vishesha are denied. Yat tat pashyasi, I see that you see that. Nachiketa says, this one that you see, I see that you see. Tadvada, please tell me about that, teach me that. So that this particular passage is now reiterated in verse 78. Dharma dharma vinirmuktam bhuta bhavyat krita krita samatma swamatmanam param vidya vimuktam sarva bandhanaihi. Dharma dharma vinirmuktam anyatra dharmat anyatra dharmat anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha bhuta bhavyat vinirmuktam anyatra asmat krita kritat krita kritat vinirmuktam. So this is the reiteration, anuvad of the first line. Swamatmanam param vidyat vimuktam sarabandhanaihi. One should know that Atma with its own self. Sarabandhanaihi vimuktam. The self that is free from all the bondages may one know one's own self. So this is the nature of prapatti. What is meant by surrendering, taking refuge into worshipping is by way of being committed to knowing it. Here, the worship, surrender is of the nature of commitment to the knowledge. And here, knowledge is constant contemplation on the self. Swaswarupanusandhanam bhaktiritya vidhiyate. Anusandhana, one's own essential nature is called bhakti. That bhakti is being taught here. Nanu katham sarabandhanehi mukta atma. Tasya kartruttvadi shravana. But Atma is said to be the karta, the creator of the whole universe. He is the creator, sustainer, dissolver. This is how we know Brahman. Because ultimately, who has created the universe? When you see the creation, then it presupposes the creator. And creator must be a conscious entity. And then Brahman alone is branded as creator. So he is called a creator, sustainer, dissolver. This is what Ishvara is called. Sarvabandhanehi mukta atma. How can one be free from bandhanam? When you are creator, sustainer, dissolver, you are a mahasamsari. Must make sure that everything is done in order. When karma is to perform, must be performed appropriately, properly. That requires a total commitment. And therefore you are not free. Not free from the responsibility of doing your karma properly. So when you perform an action, you are a karta with a responsibility, then you are bound to make sure that what you do is done appropriately, properly. Everything is done as it should be done. Crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's, as they say. Because people do this, they don't bother to cross T's and I's. Take it for granted that people understand. No. Cross all the T's, dot all the I's. Do not leave anything for anybody's imagination. So this requires a total commitment to an activity. And that is a bondage. Because the mind is bound. It has to do that and do it properly in a certain way. So thus when kartrutva is there, how can the Atma be mukta from all the bondage? iti ashankya akartrutvadavi sahaiva shravanad tasya kartaramima vidya kartaramavayam. Lord Krishna says, may you know me to be the karta, the creator of the universe, with the akartaram, also know me akarta. So Bhagavan is called karta as well as, so akartrutvadevi sahaiva shravanad. Right there itself, the Upanishad also says, Atma is akarta. Meaning that we find these two contradictory statements, where Brahman is described as karta, kartru, and also described as akartru. And which, so, viruddha ubhayasvavasya ekasmin ayogat. How can one Brahman be simultaneously karta and akarta? Because one excludes the other. Karta cannot be akarta, akarta cannot be karta. So, viruddha ubhayasvavasya. This kartrutvam, akartrutvam is mutually exclusive, opposed to each other. Therefore, it cannot remain, it cannot obtain in one place at the one time in the same locus. Ekasmin ayogat. These two contradictory things cannot obtain in one location, one locus. So how to explain them? When two things are there is beggar also and a king also, a beggar also and a wealthy person also. When both of these obtain the same locus, totally contradictory. There is beggar also and a wealthy person also. When these two contradictory things obtain the same locus, one of them must be right and one of them must be wrong. One must be satyam, other must be mithya. Swapraptam kartrutvadigam mayamayam. Swapraptam, what is swabhavam? Swabhavam is that which is done habitually. The kartrutva is the result of the habitual identification of upadhi, which is where kartrutva is. Mayamayam is maya, or it is nothing but vikshepa, or result of adhyasa. Pramana avadeyam akartutvadikam. So that I am a karta is what I think. Mayamayam, that's the notion that I entertain. But akartutvadikam pramana avadeyam, but if I look at myself based on pramana, based on the way Upanishad wants me to look at it, then I realize that akartrutvam is my nature. So, mayamayam and pramana avadeyam. Thus there are two contradictory opinions about same entity, where one says Atma is karta, whereas pramanam, the Upanishad says that is a karta. So, pramana avadeyam akartruttvadikam. Akartru, abhoktru, this is what the nature of Atma is, and that's what the pramana shruti says. So, one swabhava says that I am karta is what swabhava says. The habitual identification, and it makes me think of this way about myself. But Upanishad says Atma is akarta abhokta. Iti vishesham abhipretya viruddhanavadini shruti udaharati. So this is the distinction between the two. It's a difference between the two, vishesha. That yes, looks like two contradictory ideas obtained the same and locus, of which one is superimposition, other is the essential nature. That's why you find this viruddha dhanavadini shruti udaharati. This is accusative plural. The shruti is viruddha dhanavadini vadini, which talk about the contrary nature of the same self in the same breath. Udaharati. Because now this is a text which should explain, the whole Shastra in every way. So this is the whole idea. The reason why the verses are all based on the different statements of scriptures is to give us an overview of the entire scripture, including resolving any apparent contradictions also. So, viruddharavadinihi shrutihi. So, there are shruti statements which apparently contradict each other. Therefore, how to arrive at the understanding of them? Udahari is illustrated here, next verse. Akurvan sarvakrit shuddha tishthannatyeti dhavatah Mayaya sarvashaktitvad ajassan bahudha matah. Akurvan sarvakrit, sarvakrit doing everything, akurvan without doing anything. Doing everything without doing anything. Shuddha, because Shuddha. Tishthan atyedi dhavatah. Again, dhavatah atyedi dhavatah, the accusative plural. Dhavat, one who is running. Dhavatah, those who are running. Atyedi, one who overcomes. Overcomes those. So tishtat, while remaining stationary, one who overtakes all the running fellows. Dhavata, the running. Atyeti, overtakes. So remaining standstill, he overtakes all those that are running. Not doing anything, he is doing everything else, everything. Ajasan bahudhamataha. Being birthless still is thought to be everything multifold. Ajayamano bahuda vijayate. How is that all possible? Maya sarvashaktitvat. All is possible because Paramatma is sarvashakti, because of Maya. They can create appearance of what is not there. That's all Maya. So Paramatma is a nature. By Maya also creates an appearance of something contradictory. So contradictory is the appearance created by Maya. So now, first quoting from the Ishavasti Upanishad. Aneyadekam manaso javiya anejat ekam manasah javiya. Manasah javiya, faster than the mind. Anejat, one that does not move, that which is motionless and still faster than the mind. The mind is known to be one of the fastest entities. In moment, mind can reach Brahmaloka as though. So perhaps mind is faster than any. So Manojavam is as fast as the mind. The mind is the fastest entity. Anejat, without moving, it transcends, it's faster than the mind. Imandirva akurvan sarvakrityuktaha, doing everything without doing anything, is an explanation of this part of the mantra, anejat ekam manaso javiya. Shuddham apaviddham ityasya sa shuddha saparigat shuddham apaviddham. 8th mantra of the Ishavasya. Saparigat, the rich everywhere, it pervades everything. Shuddham, ever pure, apaviddham, untainted by any papa or sin. So, not only apavaviddham, not only it is pure, but then not subject to being influenced by papa. So, you can be nishpapa all right, but subject to papa. Papa can touch you. That King Nala was a very nishpapa, very pure person, but then still Kali stuck to him. So you are vulnerable, all right. But Brahman is not vulnerable at all, meaning that Papa cannot touch apavaviddham, unpierced by the Papa. So that's the meaning Shuddha. Tishthan atyedi dhavatah, again from Ishavasya, tad dhavatonyān atyedi tishtata. Tasmin napo matarishvadadhati. So tat tishthat anyān dhavata atyedi. Tat tishthat, tat Brahma, tishthat, remaining, is standing, remaining motionless. Anyān dhavata atyedi. Atyedi, it overtakes. Anyān dhavata, those which are running, so all sense organs and mind, all of these. So that's the way to describe. So Tikakara thinks that should be explained. Dhavatah, vegatah, anyān, manah pranādin, atyedi, atitya gacchati. Mind, prana, all of these are very quick. Prana also is very quick, mind is even quicker. And Atma as though overtakes all of them without any motionless Atma. How do you explain that? Yatra manah pranādi gacchati, tatra sarvatra Atma chaitanyasya avyakti niyamat. Where the mind and prana goes, the Atma is already there. The bird is flying in the sky, but light is already there. So we can see the bird flying in the sky, provided bird is illumined by the light. So we can say light remaining motionless overtakes the bird in motion, because the light is already there where the bird is. Wherever the bird goes. So where mind, because mind, prana, all of them gain their satta, sphurti from Atma. That they exist and that they move, that they act is all due to Atma, which provides them satta, sphurti. So figuratively say that Atma is already there where they, so Atma overtakes them. These are very fast running things, he overtakes them. Meaning all pervasive, these are all superimposed upon him. Tishthannapi gacchativa bhasare ityartha. Even though Atma is tishthan, gacchati, as though it is also running faster than them. That is how the description is. Dhavatyedi, it overtakes. You cannot overtake unless you run faster than them. In the race, sometimes whoever comes from behind and charges, overtakes. Atma comes, overtakes, looks like it's overtaking, but it's already there, it's already all pervasive. Bahudha ajaha san bahudha mataha. Even though he is birthless, still thought to be many. Ajayamano bahudha vijayate. Iti. Purusuktam ajayamano bahudha vijayate. Ajayamana. Birthless being, bahudha vijayate, is born variously. Sarvatra hetu maya sarvashaktitvaditi. Because Sarva Shakti, he is omnipotent, all powerful because of Maya. What is the power? Maya only creates an appearance. Maya does not create anything tangible. Meaning that Paramatma creates an appearance of running, etc., by Maya. And so all this mind-boggling nature of Atma is all due to Maya. So, that's called mind-boggling. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi Maya. I say that Maya is patiyasi. Patu means skilled. Patiyasi, very skilled. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi, very skilled in making impossible possible. Ni mayayam asambhavaniyam asti dibhavaha. These things look impossible. In Ramayana, Tulsidas will describe again and again. that by the grace of Lord Rama, even a snake can kill, a Garuda, etc., etc. Totally contradictory things you will say. That is the power of Ishvara, power of Maya. Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo